Who the hell is she? That widow with 5 colours in her hair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell I was a McFly? Hi everyone and welcome to episode 12 of the Spring Snowflake Podcast. My name is Sophie and this is a podcast all about my making. Mostly crochet and knitting, bit of sewing, and generally any kind of craftiness I can manage. I am podcasting from the UK. I live in South Oxfordshire, and you can find me on Instagram as sophiexuan, as well as on Ravelry by the same name. It's sophiexuan. I'm also on, is also a channel, no, account, that's the word I'm looking for. There's also an account for this podcast, which is Spring Snowflake on Instagram. I filmed this introduction about 4 times, and we're keeping this one. I'm filming in the evening, which I never do. I usually film on nursery mornings. So this is really weird that I've got curtains drawn behind me. It's very odd. But still my lighting is okay because I have studio lights. I love my mother. So this podcast is about my making. So I will tell you all about the finished objects that I've made in the last 2 weeks, and it has been 2 weeks. I'm doing well. Episode 3 of 2019 is still within January. It's the 30th of January as I'm filming, and it probably won't be posted until Friday. We'll see when I've got time to edit, because I've got other things like a tax return to return. I didn't actually have any extra income this year, but I still need to do a tax return because in previous years I've done a tax return and it's just good practice to do a tax return if you do other side things. Anyway, so I've got to do that first. That's more important than editing. And it's alright, you've had a vlog recently. I posted my ski trip 2 days ago. So this hat does not want to stay on my head. I'm going to quickly segue into what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Skipton hat. This is a pattern by Vicky Brown, which she came up with for Yarndale 2017. Yes. And the yarn is Starcraft Batik Elements in the Bismuth colourway, and it's one of the only hats I own that goes with my new hair. More on that later. It has a pom-pom on it that is from Toft, which is real alpaca. They source their alpacas from actual decent places. They're alpaca fur pom-poms, because obviously when you've got a pom-pom it needs to also include skin. But they do source it from ethical things. And my other thing that I'm wearing is an FO, although it does have ends. Where's the ends? There they are. But I wanted to wear it. It's blocked. It just has ends to sew in. And this is my rainbow relay shawl, which I'm going to take off because actually I'm really quite warm. And I'm wearing my hat because my hair's gone completely flat because I've been wearing a hat all day because it's cold. Right, segueing, this is what I'm wearing, but also going into FOs, my finished object. So this is my most recent finished object, which is my rainbow relay shawl, and I love it. It's awesome. So this is, the main colour for this is Dye Candy in the colourway Glow. This is all merino, superwash merino DK. And this came in my Fibre Lounge Secret Yarn Stash December box. It's awesome. I've still got some left which will go in a scrappy blanket. And then the slices of colours. This is a Wooler one. This is Vicky Brown. This is Vicky Brown. This is Vicky Brown. This is Wooler. This is Wooler. I can't see if I'm actually showing you. This is Wooler. And this is Vicky Brown. So these were from my advent calendars. So I got the Secret Yarn Stash advent calendar from the Fibre Lounge, and Kaz from Wooler did 12 of those 24 colours, the semi-solids and tonals. And then Vicky Brown, I got, these were just some of her colours in her, apart from the yellow, which was a DK mini that I got in a Lucky Dip bag. But I went for the rainbow. You will notice that the rainbow is backwards because I'm a lefty and I didn't think about it. But I don't care. So yeah, it's my It went into the Christmas Eve crochet along. It also went into Blame Dunder Knit along. It also went into the Newfangled Mal, which is Pins and Needles UK's, because I've never knitted a shawl, but also I've never done a picot bind off, and I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, it's not quite as long as, it's a pattern by Jane Murison, who is Yarnison on Instagram. It's not quite as long as she says it should be in the pattern. It should be over 2 meters. This is definitely not 2 meters because my wingspan is not 2 meters and it is basically my wingspan. But it still goes very comfortably around my neck. Let's not, oh, here we go, the hat's come off. Ugh, it's all going wrong. It goes comfortably around my neck with lots to spare. So I'm very, very happy with this, and this is my first non-present FO of 2019. So let's move on to the other FOs. The other FOs, most of them are going to be pictures because I don't have them because they've been gifted. So 2 of them are hats, and I'll put them here. I'm hoping that my nephew, because I forgot to take a picture of him wearing it when I gave it to him this weekend, but I'm hoping that my nephew will be sending me a picture, which I'll insert here, of his hat, and then my brother-in-law, his dad, I also made him a hat, which I've got a picture of it while blocking on a balloon. So that's there. They are both made from alpaca, so the yarn that I used is right here. These are the yarns that I used. So we've got sandwiched, we've got King Cole Alpaca Baby Alpaca DK, these two, in the charcoal and the blue mist colourway, and then in the middle is UK Alpaca DK. I think this is 80/20 alpaca silk, and that came in a little box of crochet. I think it was the 2016 Christmas box, and I didn't make the cuffs, the pattern. This is a running theme of little box of crochet, unfortunately. So hence the reason why I don't subscribe anymore. But yeah, I put them all together. So the 2 at the end went into Jim's hat, and all 3 went into Finn's hat. And the patterns I used the, this hat does not want to stay on my head. I used the Anthology from the Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits for Jim's hat, the logo hat. So the hat is shows the logo of his business. So my brother-in-law is an osteopath, so he has JH as a kind of body. I love it. I really like his logo, and I wanted to see if I could do it as a colourwork hat. It was a pain in the arse to make because actually there's not a lot of the colour in the colourwork, so I had a lot of managing floats and making sure that it wasn't too tight and all that kind of stuff. And actually before I blocked it I thought it would be too tight. I put it on my husband's head and he was like, I can feel it. But once it blocked out it was perfect. It was really drapey and lovely. And that's the thing with alpaca, it stretches. And then Finn's hat was the double thick cuff hat by Stacey Perry of Very Pink Knits. She released it just before Christmas as a present to us, I think. Free pattern. Anthology is also a free pattern as well. Even though it's part of the Strange Brew book, they released Anthology as a free pattern, standalone pattern. Yes, I can see my neckline and I don't like it. And that was just a simple striped pattern. I also used Stacey's video tutorial on how to have jogless stripes to make sure that actually the join wasn't a step each time I changed colours. So that was very simply, I just did the cuff in one colour and then I striped every 6 rows. Yeah, it was every 6 rows. The last bit right at the top was 5 rows. But really, really nicely written pattern, very easy. You can also watch the video. She has, well, this is Stacey Perry. There's like, Very Pink Knits is like, she has videos for everything. So, yeah, don't go to sleep. My computer's there with information that I need for the end of the video. So yes, so those were 2 presents. I finally finished gift knitting. Yay. The second one, the second present, or third present actually, that I gave was to my father-in-law, which is a scarf, and I've got a picture of it here on the blocking mats. It was made out of this yarn. I've shown you this before. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca Light DK. It's 50/50. Oh, blowing out the camera. It's 50/50 DK wool, 50/50 DK alpaca, 50-50 wool alpaca. Is it going to go dark again, or has it just completely blown out now? Oh well, we'll deal with it. But yeah, so this red, I love red, how it blows out the camera. It was a pattern by Michael Snow, and it's called Diamonds in the Rough, and it was a Tunisian crochet scarf pattern. I both loved and loathed this mainly because I spent so long dithering about what I was going to do before I started making this thing. But it turned out really well. It blocked beautifully, and he's really happy with it, so that's all I needed. The other thing that I didn't show you in all my present stuff was the... or did I show you? I did show you at the time. So the for those of you who are long 12 episodes, long time watchers, you will have known that I did a DK weight loft shawl by Faye, who's Faye DH Designs on Instagram. She's also the Crochet Circle podcast. So I did her DK weight version of her loft shawl in King Kong Galaxy DK in 3 different colours. That I've shown before, and I'll put a picture here. I gifted to my stepmother-in-law. Yes, my husband's stepmother. And she loved it. So, Christmas presents pretty much done. I've got one still to finish, which is my mother's socks, which is the Char Char chevron. The last finished object was a birthday present for my husband. So my husband had his birthday last weekend while we were away. Slightly unfortunate. And this was the Toft dog. This is... Now, I don't know if he's going to stay called this name, but the pattern is Axel the German Shepherd. Now, normally German Shepherds are mostly black with brown accents. Now, I didn't have any black Toft yarn, so I went with the dark brown and then the tan, and I still think he looks quite... Ooh, something's gone on. I think still he still looks quite German Shepherdy. I love his tail. His tail was an absolute ball's ache to make. Because loop stitches are not fun in the round. But I love his tail. It's very cute. So yes, he is a Toft dog. He's the first one from that book. I will be making more. Because I just love his ears. Look at his ears. I want to make a floppy-eared one next. So it's probably going to be the Beagle. Lola the Beagle is probably the next one that I'm going to make. I do really want to make the sheepdog though. Although the sheepdog is all loop stitch. So we'll see. But yeah, he sits on my husband's desk. Isn't he cute? Anyway, right. So let's see if I can sit him up again. No, he's not going to sit up. Come on, Axel. No. Oh, I should have put some... Ah, there he is. Ha ha! He's sitting up. Right. So those are my finished objects. The other thing... It's not really a finished object, it's a repair. My husband has a... I've used my sewing machine, finally. He bought me a sewing machine for Christmas. And I finally used it. So I was bought a... Now I'm going to... If I get this wrong, I'll put down the bottom. A Genome 230 DC sewing machine for Christmas. Which is a very nice whizzy machine. And I finally got it out to hem. Basically, my husband has this flat sheet that he uses to kind of wrap around himself under the duvet. And he ripped a hole in the bottom of it, so I had to rehem it, and I did, and it's fabulous. I love my sewing machine. So that was a mend rather than an FO. So let's move on to whips. Things you've seen before. Echo Chamber. So this is the Echo Chamber Mystery Crochet Along, which has now come to an end. They released Clue 5 last week? Yeah, last week, before. Yeah, so like the 24th, 25th? Yeah. So, Clue 5 is Tunisian crochet. I am almost there, I'm almost done. I was in the hairdressers yesterday, and I basically spent all 3.5 hours doing this. So, let's unhook my stitch marker from the yarn. What's going on here? There. Oh, it's because it's come undone, that's why. Okay, so this is the wrong way around. Let's not pull out anything. So this is my echo chamber. So this is what it will end up looking like, because that's, oh no, I've still got one more row to go. But I love the echoes. It's so cool. So it's going to be quite a small, here we go, oh, shawl over a shawl. It is going to be quite a small shawl. But actually it's about the same size as this, but it's going to be lovely in the spring. So, oh my god, this hat. I'm not going to take it off, but I think the pom-pom just weighs it down a bit. Anyway, so yes, so I've shown you this before. The yarns are the orangey is the colourway Autumn from Fibre Spates, and it's the Fairy Wings yarn, and then the blue is West Green Loft Yarns, 100% merino, twisted, so it's 4-ply, and it's in the colourway Braveheart. So yeah, I've really liked, and I'm literally, look, I'm there. So I've just got really one side to do, and then the return pass. So I've really enjoyed the Tunisian. I've kind of all been about Tunisian. A lot of people have struggled with it in the group, but there's a lot of people also who have been on hand to help and give tips. As a lefty, when you're doing something that's got kind of, you do one side and then another side, it's quite hard to work out what weighs up as a lefty, but I did work it out, and then I've been helping other lefties to kind of work it out, so that's been good. I felt useful. And that's been living in my Stitches Tees crochet bag, which I bought at Yarndale. There is a lot of yarn left in that bag. I have got a lot of that Fairy Wings, so I'm probably going to hold it double with something and make a hat with it at some point. We'll see. Okay, next thing. Let's go with things you already know about. Temperature blanket. I'm still going. I'm keeping up. Yay. So we're almost at the end of January. And we are, let's start at the start. So we're, dark blue is the coldest so far. So we've kind of not got above, let's work this out, 3. We've not got above 11 degrees this year. At midday so my closest weather station is Bryce Norton, which is an RAF base. God, I don't even know how many miles away it is. Quite a lot, 20, 16, 15 miles away as the crow flies. Anyway, but that's my nearest weather station, so that's what I go with, the high at midday every day from Bryce Norton, which is from the Met Office website. So we haven't got above, turquoise is the warmest colour so far, and that goes up to 11 degrees. So there was a point, where is it? Here, don't know if you'll be able to see that, where I was, so it kind of comes, it goes that way and then comes back that way, where I was sewing everything. So I'd finish a square and then I'd sew it onto the blanket. And then I went, why am I not doing join as you go? Why am I not at least joining it at the corners? So yeah, I started doing join as you go. So you'll be able to see there's some slip stitches here. And then what I did is when I finished, so I would just slip stitch into the corners, and it, actually I think it gives a neater finish. Slip stitch into the corners and then I sew the sides in. And I'm doing that with every single day, because if I don't do it, then I'll end up with loads of ends and future me will hate this me. So we are sewing in our ends as we go. We are due snow tomorrow, Friday. We had snow last week. It didn't, but actually midday didn't. It was dark blue. It was 1 degree, 2 degrees, but I haven't had to break into the dark purple, which is less than 0. But we might have it over the next couple of days. But midday is quite, we get a lot of, we're having actually quite a lot of sunshine. It's winter sunshine at the moment, so it's not grey and horrible snow. It's snow and then sun. So even though it's cold, it's not that bad. Don't go to sleep. Right, one that you haven't seen. Living in my Mrs. Brown's bags. And I have to show you this. This is my Little Drops of Wonderful pin. That is from Ali, who is Little Drops of Wonderful on YouTube and Starry as Ali on Instagram, and that is her new pin. That is a little drop of wonderful going down onto a multicoloured umbrella, and I love it, and I got it in her pre-order, and she sold loads, which is awesome. But yes, Ali, I love you, Ali. she put a really sweet little note, and oh, where is it? Oh, where's it gone? Here we go. In the package, she put a little note, because obviously she knows who I am, and a tiny little origami star. How cute is that? I love it. So it's going to be stuck to my computer. I haven't found any blue tack yet, but it'll be stuck to my computer. It'll make me think of Ali every time. And I need to send her a little gift, because now I have her address. Okay. So in here, as I've said before, I am subscribed to the 2019 Truly Hooked Blanket Club, and it arrived. So I got, oh, I'm in the middle of a square. I got 100 grams of everything I'm getting. I get 100 grams of the undyed yarn, which I've balled up. I'm so excited about it, I didn't even get my winder out, because I was like, I'm just going to sit and I'm going to wind it in a ball because I want to get started. I am using my fabulous marble hook from Emily of Makey. It's my rose gold marble. And now, there's 3 colours that every month you get 3 colours, and I've chosen the 20 gram, unravelling. I've chosen the 20 gram box, so I get 60 grams of yarn every box, plus 100 grams of undyed. And these are the 3 colours. Verity completely forgot to put the information in the bag, but you start with the dark. And I ummed and ahed, oh my god, like the amount of planning that went into this. I ummed and ahed about it, and I decided that I was going to do a... Claudia Dingle, who's on Instagram, she did an amazing take on a half square triangle quilt in crochet for the Zines and Roger C2C make along last... CC make along last year, and I really liked it, but I didn't want to do corner to corner because I just don't like how it looks anymore. So I decided I was going to do a bit of an ode to it, but with the granny. So I am doing, this is the centre of my, it's going to be a central pinwheel that kind of radiates out. So I'm not doing all pinwheels, but this is going to be a pinwheel, and then colour 2 will come off each of these, and it will kind of just radiate out into a spiral, but it will be a rectangular blanket, so I'm going to have to finagle those last couple of colours into looking sensible. But yeah, so I've done three squares already of the first colour. It arrived, when did it arrive? It arrived on Saturday, because we weren't here, so I opened it on Sunday night, and literally started on, well, I started something. I started a Tunisian double 10 stitch blanket and didn't like the look of it, so I ripped that all out. And then I went, what are you doing, Sophie? Just do a granny because it's mindful, and what you need this year is something that doesn't stress you out. So that's what I did. So yeah, so this is the next colour. She hasn't given them names. And then we end in the neon pink, and I am very excited to see how this turns out. But yeah, very happy. So those are my only whips at the moment, but obviously I have more whips. I have some socks to finish for my mum, I have 2 blankets that I have to finish, and I have to finish the things that I've just shown you. Well, not finish, because the blankets are, both of them, those blankets are throughout the year, so they're not urgent. But obviously I want to work on at least the temperature blanket every day. The temperature blanket takes me 15 minutes every day to whip up a 3-round, what are they called? Solid granny square. A 3-round solid granny square in DK, attach it, sew it, done. It takes me about 15-20 minutes, and that's what I do at the end of the day to kind of get my mind ready for sleep. But I do have 2 big blankets that have been sat for too long. Like, one of them has been 5 years in the making. So in February, and I'm starting a hashtag, and it may end up in being a Cal if other people want to join me. If it is a Cal, then ideas down there of whether it should be just an Instagram Cal and we do the hashtag plus my hashtag, or if we start a Ravelry group. Let me know. I'll also put a poll up on Instagram. But yes, so I want to finish my Sophie's Universe and I want to finish my American Octagons. I don't know if I'll finish them all, but I am going to start a hashtag and it's going all across the screen. Hashtag finish it in February. I'm going to try my hardest. So I'm not going to do any, I'm not going to start making anything. I've finished one of my Make 9. So I'm on my way. I am not going to start anything else until at least one of those blankets is finished. Okay, so hashtag finish it in February. If you want to come with me on this fabulous challenge, let me know. We'll make it into a Cal. Speaking of, well, Cal's giveaways. Speaking of stuff where I get everyone together and get them to talk to me, we have a giveaway. So I have, in the last couple of episodes, I've told you that there was a giveaway happening on my last Vlogmas video, and I've pulled the winners. So there were 9 comments on that video. Thank you very much for those who commented. And I asked Siri earlier to pick out 3 of those numbers. I sorted them by newest first, and then I went from oldest was 1 all the way up to 9. So the winners were comment 1, which is Melanie Hollis. I'm going to look at my screen right now. Melanie said, I think I've watched all of your Vlogmas episodes. I've loved your advent calendars. Thanks so much for sharing them. It's now the day after Christmas and I'm still seeing patterns that would make great Christmas gifts, but I've got to stop. I think I'll just start a list for next year's gifts and work on them during the year. Sensible woman. So Melanie, you have won some stuff, and I'll put some pictures up on here of what you've won, because it's all over there and I just didn't want to get it out because there's quite a lot. So can you please get in touch with me either via Instagram, DMs, Ravelry messages, or on YouTube. Okay, so then there was comments 6 and 7. Number 6 is Tamara. So Crafty Escapism, who is Tamara. I know her. Full disclosure, we're mates. So Tamara said, hello, rather late to the Vlogmas. Gosh, I'd forgotten what life with a 2.5-year-old was like. Mine are 14 and 12 now. Love that you had 3 advent calendars on the go. 3 in like capital letters. They're not a thing in the US, so making a note that I need one in my life in 2019. So fun watching you opening it. So again, Tamara, I'm going to put on the screen what you win. And then the last one was Soul Stitches. So there's no... yeah, Soul Stitches on YouTube, and their comment was, working my way backwards through your videos. It's a bit weird given that Christmas is well behind us now. I have to admit I didn't watch too many Vlogmas videos just because there were so very many and I didn't have the time. So again, Soul Stitches, if you could get in contact with me with your address, and what you've won is here. So if I'm going to give you until the next date of my next podcast, which should be in the next 2 weeks, to get in touch with me with your addresses, please, and I will get those out. And if I haven't heard from you, then I will roll that prize onto the next giveaway I do, which I'm sure will be sometime this year. Right, giveaway done. Okay, so I'm doing something a bit different, and I'm going to try and do this every time I do a podcast now, and that is to spotlight someone. I don't have a big audience, but given the discussions that we've had in the last 4 weeks now about inclusion and racism in the yarn community, I thought it would be good to try and spotlight someone who you may not have come across, who I've just come across, and who I think is blooming awesome, who doesn't have as big a following as they really should. So my spotlight, who's just, she got to 1,000 I think a couple of weeks ago, 1,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago, is Caleisha. And Caleisha is Nadira Tani on Instagram. She's the host of the Quirky Monday podcast, and if you haven't watched it and if you're not subscribed, go. If only for her amazingly cute dogs. There are not that many yarny people that are dog owners. There's quite a lot of cat owners, but there are not very many dog people, and I'm a dog person. So when I see a podcaster that has dogs, I get very happy. So yeah, go and watch Caleisha on the Quirky Monday podcast. She's been given quite a lot of love by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet as well. I think they don't live very far away from each other. But yes, she's my spotlight. She has also been quite a tempered but biggish voice in the conversation about people of colour and basically bringing them out in the community and hearing them. There's been another bit of a kick to it this week with the release of a podcast, and I'm not gonna give that person any promotion, but if you go on my Instagram stories, you'll see. But there was another podcaster who is a yarn dyer in the US, and I actually haven't come across her before, which I'm very, very grateful for, who went on, decided that it was sensible to go on her podcast and call people bullies for calling her out on her racism, white elitism and white supremacy. And quite rightly, let me just say this, people were calling her out quite rightly, and just hateful stuff, and not even saying the word racism, calling it a one-sided belief. I'm sorry, no, racism is real. It's... I have no words. Other people have said it a lot more eloquently, and I've pointed to them in my Instagram stories. If you do want to see some of the stuff that I've been reposting or posting myself about this subject, I have a story highlight in my Instagram profile called Diversenity. Diversenity. I can't say that in one go. Diversenity. There we go. Like diversity, but diversenity. I think it's the first story on my profile at the moment because it's the thing I'm adding to the most recently, and it's a selection of both people of colour and also white people who are allies, posting certain things. Now, one of those things I've posted is the River Knits mission statement, which I have pilfered. And I wholeheartedly agree with. So please do go on and look at that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to put a screenshot up here of the mission statement that they've put, because everyone's welcome here. That's it. Like, this is a safe space for everyone, and if there are any people that disagree with that, there's the door, don't let it hit your ass on the way out. I will not tolerate hateful things being said on this channel, on my Instagram account, on my comments, anything like that. It's just not happening. Sorry. I want this to be a safe space for everyone. Right. Life update. So, you'll notice I have oil slick hair. I went and sat in the hairdresser's chair for 3.5 hours yesterday, and she, I'll put a photo of the halfway point, bleached half my head. It was basically chunks of like highlights, but quite thick highlights, and then over-dyed it with, now this is cobalt blue, which has actually turned this amazing green. I love it. There is orchid, which is the lighter pink, and then I can't remember what the purple is, but that's there. Which is, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Wait a minute. If I take, I apologise for the hair, but look at that blue. I love it. I apologise for the flat head. I'm just gonna do that. My husband's reaction was funny. He was like, "Oh, that's interesting." I'm like, "Interesting good or interesting bad?" So yeah, that's my life update. We're tracking along nicely. It's gonna snow tomorrow. It's snowing everywhere else in the UK. We had like a little bit last week, but it wasn't amazing. It didn't stay for longer than 24 hours. It just turned to ice and it was horrible. Other than that, I went skiing, watched my vlog, and had a lot of fun. It was nice. I missed my little girl and I missed my husband quite a lot. And I got ill on the last day. So I've already had 2 colds in 2019. But actually, it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun to get out on the slopes again. And then last weekend we went to Suffolk to see my husband's family for Christmas. So Christmas is now officially over! And that was really nice to see everyone. We also got to, so we went, it was mostly to see his dad's side of the family, but we also dropped in on his mum on the way back. And we got to, Chris got to take Amelia around his old park, and they went on the swings and stuff like that, which was lovely. We stayed in a nice hotel. It was a bit tired, but it was a nice hotel. But it took us almost 5 hours to get there on the Friday, which was not fun. There was 2, 3 accidents. Anyway, but other than that, we're doing quite well. We're going to have a quiet February. That is the plan. There is going to be a quiet February, because we've had a busy couple of months, and it would just be nice to slow down and not go anywhere. In February, my only plan is Unravel. So I will be going to Unravel. I don't know what day yet. There is a thought that I might go 2 days. I might go on the Friday with my little girl, because it's free entry for under 15s. If anyone has kids and can't get there without taking them, it's free entry for under 15s. I've checked that with the organisers. So if you do want to come and spend some time with us, with the small, I don't want to buy any yarn. I'm not going to buy yarn. I'm going to have a look at some of the accessories and stuff like that, go and see if there's anything that might kind of fit into the curation of the stash at the moment. But I have pretty much all the yarn I need to be getting on with the next 6 months of making. So I don't need any more yarn, and I don't particularly want to bring any more in this house until I've used some more. So yes, that's the plan. I'm also going to meet up with mates. So like Chrissy from Chrissy Crafts is going to be there. Obviously, I think Faye's going to try and make it down. Flick, who's Flick Merrison on Instagram, we're trying to coordinate days. There are a few other people that I know are going, so it will be to go and see friends for the most part. That's my plan. Literally, it's gonna be Unravel, and that's it. So that's me. We'll see how long this is, because I've had to stop it halfway through because my camera does a stupid thing and turns off at 24 minutes. But yeah, I hope that you have had a lovely couple of weeks, and I hope that you have a lovely couple of weeks coming up, and that you don't get too much snow. Snow is awesome, but it's not that great when you get snowed in and can't do anything. So, and the UK is not well known for, sorry, I just can't stop looking at my hair, look at that. The UK is not well known for its infrastructure and dealing with the snow. We can't even bloody get out of Europe without a faff, so let alone digging ourselves out of freezing water. That's all I'm saying on the B word. It got banned on our ski trip. We still talked about it all the bloody time. But yes, I will, at one point, I will share my thoughts on Brexit, but not today. Anyway, thank you very much for stopping by and chatting with me, and I will see you next time. Bye! Better. Right. Oh god, your hair is so dark, Sophie, look at this. Look at all the colours. There was a busker, I have to tell you before. Look at the end, wait a minute. There was a busker today. We went to Whitney for the day, and there was a busker who, as I was walking past, sang McFly? Busted. McFly, girl with 5 colours in her hair. Which is kind of me at the moment. 3 colours yesterday and 2 colours, 3 colours, plus natural. Technically I've got 7 colours in my hair right now. Love it. Right, let's start. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, why is your skin so bad? I know, because it's going to snow. Right. Left, up, down. I feel like I'm not high enough. Yeah, go on then. Hair in my face. Hair in my face. Oh, I might boil in this hat. Right, ooh, or back a bit and be a bit hipster. I'm a bit hipster anyway. Today with my slouchy hat and my rainbow and my 7 colours in my hair. I'm gonna lean, just so you know, I'm gonna lean. Hi everyone and welcome to episode 12? 12! Yeah, it's been a fortnight. Oh my god, I'm gonna start that again. Okay, let's, oh my god. My brain is not here. My brain is not here. It's probably because the small person's downstairs and it's also like dark outside and I don't podcast when it's dark outside. I feel a bit weird. Anyway, I also have lots of colours in my hair. Who the hell is she? That widow with 5 colours in her hair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell I was a McFly? Oh, I love that song. It's probably still my favourite song of theirs. Let's see what it looks like pinned back, shall we? Right. Bath time.